Happy Wednesday, everyone. So we're going to be making a creamy artichoke and pesto pasta with flaked salmon. And there's also some kale in there too. So you do have some roughage, as well as the lean protein to balance out some of the richness. So it's not all cream and carbs. It's got some vegetables in there. To make the pasta, we're going to be juggling a few things at once. We're going to be boiling the pasta. We're going to be making the salmon, and we're also going to be making the sauce all at the same time. Pasta is going to go straight into my pot. I'm using spaghetti today. I will just drop that into my pot here. And then for the salmon, what we're going to do is bake this with an herbed butter sauce right on top. To make the herb butter sauce, it's super simple. We've got just some butter, like a little dried oregano, dried thyme, and garlic powder. So I'm going to go ahead and microwave this just to melt the butter. And then that's going to be what we're really flavoring the salmon with. This one's sockeye, and then the other one is coho. I'm just patting these dry a little bit. So all we're going to be doing is brushing or spooning some of this herb butter mixture on and tossing that in the oven for probably 8 to 10 minutes, I think should be good. Just going to give this a little bit of a stir. That's going to go right over the sockeye. Just spoon it all over. I'm just going to give it a generous coating. Pop this right into the oven. I'm going to set my timer for 8 minutes, and we can check on both the pasta and the salmon. So those two things are going. What we can work on next is mixing together sort of the base of the cream sauce. Heavy cream. Got some basil pesto that's going to go right into here. And we got mascarpone here. It looks almost like a very thick Greek yogurt or cream cheese. And then we've got some Italian seasoning and red pepper flakes. Oh, actually, too thick and gloopy because I need to add a little bit of veggie stock into that. It'll start to cook down a little bit and become thick again and just be the perfect texture for coating. That we can just set aside for now. Now we're going to start cooking the onions for to form the base of the sauce here. Just some onions over medium heat is where we're going to start here with some olive oil. And we're just going to cook these until they soften a bit and release some of their sugars. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and season up this cream sauce while we're standing here. We are at 8 minutes. So let me check on the salmon here. Also, the onions are looking nice and soft. The salmon, it was probably, I need another minute or two. I'm going to pivot back to the sauce that we're building here. I want to add garlic next to this onion situation. So we're just going to let that get fragrant. The kale that I'm using today is something called lacinato kale or Tuscan kale. This I just gave like a little bit of a massage, like literally massage the kale with some olive oil, any sort of oil right before you use it. That's going to help soften this up so that, you know, if you bite into it, you're not going to feel like you're a rabbit trying to eat someone's front lawn. It actually is something you might want to eat. All right, here's the salmon, by the way. I'm just going to let this sit off to the side. That looks about perfect to me. So to the pan, we're going to add this, the cream, and yes, lemon zest. All right, so here we go. Kale going into the pot. And cream sauce also going into the pot. Artichoke. The only thing I'm missing for this right now, I believe, is the lemon zest and cheese. All I did was used a potato peeler or like a vegetable peeler to shave some Parmesan into like thinner slivers, like just like this. Super easy. And then that's for me to eat now. But that helps break up the cheese so that it'll melt a little bit easier. And same thing with the lemon zest. All I did was use this peeler. I just used the peeler to take some of this off the lemon. I'm just going to chop this up pretty finely. That's going to go in, and those will soften a little bit as they cook. It's looking really beautiful. And all we're doing here, everything in this sauce is already edible and delicious, but we're just cooking it down so that the kale becomes a little bit wilted and all the flavors come together really, really nicely. My pasta should be ready, so let me go ahead and just check to see if the noodles are done. And we want to make sure that we're reserving some of this pasta water before we add it to the pan here. Because the starches in there are going to really help everything come together and become even more saucy and bind. So, all right, pasta, perfect timing. I like a little al dente, and also know that when you have a pasta sauce like this that has like more liquid and moisture in it, the noodles are going to pick up some of that moisture as they sit in it. So don't worry if it's like a little, if you feel like it's a little too al dente, it'll soften up as it sits in the sauce. Let me just pour off some of this pasta water into one of my bowls here. You don't really need that much of it. I think it's for like a full, if you're making the full recipe, it's like half a cup. But a few tablespoons for pasta roti should be sufficient. And then that is going to go right into the pot here. And then we're just stirring to combine. Yum, this looks incredible. I'm gonna flake this salmon right onto, let me go ahead and put this on this tiny cutting board. We're gonna take the skin off. This is perfectly flaky. It's like literally falling apart in my hands. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, I was gonna chop it, but it looks like it's ready to go right into the pasta here. What we've got here is a beautiful looking, really rich pasta that would be perfect for something like spring, even like winter, I think would be really good with this. Go ahead and get myself a little serving of this. This looks so tasty. You can add a little bit of salt to this, some fresh cracked black pepper to really finish it off. And maybe something like a fresh sprinkle of Parmesan cheese would be ideal. Let me take a little bite and make sure this is up to par. All right, I have to make sure I get some salmon in here too. So good. That is super, super delicious. Even though it has cream and mascarpone in there, it's actually like reading pretty light to my palate. And that's, I think, just a testament to the greens in there that soaked up some of those fats. The salmon, which of course, as you know, wild salmon can be really lean, is just the perfect complement to it. It's not like a hit you over the head creamy Alfredo dish. But basically we just made like a salmon Alfredo and it's a little more elevated. And it took all of 30 minutes to make. So this is a great dish to make for like a really easy weeknight dinner. Yum. Next week, I'm going to be making eggs Benedict with crispy halibut cakes. It's a riff on crab cake Benedict. It's for sure a special occasion brunch recipe because you're going to be poaching eggs, making hollandaise, making fish cakes. Again, doing multiple things at once. But if you're looking for inspiration for any weekend festivities that you have coming up, or you know someone else in the kitchen who wants to like partner up and do some fun things with you, I think it's going to be a fun recipe. So definitely sign up for that if you're not registered yet. And yeah, in the meantime, thanks for being here. Thanks for sitting with me and watching me make some pasta. Live wild. Hope to see you very soon.